Welcome to the Abington Veterans Muster. This is our 6th show in August. Fall in, it's time for formation. We're going to start this show with Passing the Word. Passing the Word is where we give out information about what's going on in the military, and today is no different with a guest talking about our Chapter 115 benefits. It's going to be an exciting time. Thank you again for joining us. And I'm joined by Lisa McGovern, who works with Adam Gunn for the Department of Abington Veterans Services. Lisa, you're going to tell us some, last month we talked about what Chapter 115 is and what it does, and now you're going to kind of give us some details about the nuts and bolts of how this program works. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Travis. So the Chapter 115 benefit program is a benefit program for our low-income veterans and their widows and widowers, and even some dependents. And it's to provide financial assistance as well as medical reimbursements for things such as your premiums, co-pays, dental work, things like that. There's also, you could possibly also receive emergency assistance if you're in a really dire strait in regards to maybe your mortgage or something like that. So to find out if you qualify for the program, you come on down to Town Hall, you meet with me, Lisa McGovern, and I'll go over some of our requirements, as there are asset limits. There's also as well as sort of income limits as well. Yeah.
So let me get this straight. You might have a need as a veteran. You can come down to the Abington Town Hall and meet with Lisa, yours truly, or Adam, but probably you,
yep,
as it turns out. And you will go over the requirements, whether you meet the requirements in terms of assets and income, and then you'll fill out the application and fill it out for approval for Chapter 115 benefits, just like that.
Yes. So you come on down, provide us with your information that shows basically that you are low income. So it shows, what you have coming in, what are some of your expenses as well, just to show proof that you're low income, and you could receive monthly checks anywhere from, $1 up to $1,500 or more, depending on your need. So there is. Yeah. Fantastic.
So I will have the contact information for Lisa and the Department of Abington Veterans Services contact info while you're watching this or in the show post. You can check that out. And if you need help or want to take advantage of this program, simply see Lisa or Adam, and then don't delay. There's no reason for you to be in distress. This program is for you. Lisa, I want to thank you for joining me today on the Abington Veterans Muster. What a great addition to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And now I have a special message from Adam Gunn, our Department of Abington Veterans Services Director, and people in the town of Abington who support him. August 7th is Purple Heart Day. Since 2016, the town of Abington has had a policy to place honor on our killed in action service members who gave the ultimate sacrifice by dedicating streets after them. At this time, we have gone through that list, and so the Veterans Services Department, the Veterans Advisory Council, and our veteran service organizations have come together with a way to continuing honoring our deserving deceased Abington veterans who received the Purple Heart Medal. These Abington veterans will be honored with a street named after them. Abington will never forget those who have paid a heavy price for the freedoms we enjoy. We would like to thank everyone who came together to make this happen for our Purple Heart veterans. Abington never forgets. Thank you. We're back. I always love this part of the Abington Veterans Muster. Last month, I had on a Marine veteran who is currently an Abington police officer. And this month, we go the opposite end of the spectrum, which I'm very excited about. We have an Abington veteran, served in the Army, was an Abington police officer, chief of police, a photographer, granddad, U.S. Army veteran Richard Franey. Welcome to the Abington Veterans Muster.
Thank you.
I'm excited to talk with you, sir. It's just really great. It was great talking with Gladys last month and her transition story out of the Marine Corps and, different time and everything like that. And now I get to talk with you. And it's kind of funny. I remember meeting you when I got out of the Marine Corps in 1999.
Okay.
And you're the police chief. So to me, it's like a full circle, if you will.
Okay.
You served in the Vietnam War, is that right?
Yes.
So bring me back before we go into that time in our country. What was growing up in Abington like in the 50s and 60s?
It was great. No, I mean, everybody was happy. North Abington itself was a good place to grow up.
Yeah.
I lived across the street from the Abington Fire Department.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. When the bell used to ring, they'd go out. They had a hook and ladder.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was an old sea grape. And sometimes they'd get on the ramp and it would stall. So it would just sit there. But my father and my uncle ran a gas station.
Okay.
Right there on the corner of Brighton Street and North Avenue. And so I grew up, around my father and my uncle working in the garage. And I picked up a lot of, know-how.
Yeah. I have to ask, did you go to Martin's at all when you were growing up?
Oh, all the time.
All the time? So Fred wasn't kidding. Everybody's gone through Martin's.
Oh, yeah. They had
Nice.
the best donuts.
Oh, they don't have donuts anymore, I don't think.
No, they don't. No.
We got to get with Fred and get the donuts back.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause-
They had, how do they call them? Bismarcks.
The Bismarcks?
Yeah, they were about this long, and they had a strip of jam in there.
Jam?
Yeah. And then a little bit of,
Frosting or something?
cream.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Hey, Fred, we're going to come see you about getting these donuts, these Bismarcks back, okay?
Yeah.
We're coming for you. You grow up and our country changes with the Vietnam War coming.
Yes.
And as I understood it from Adam and reading about you, you didn't wait to be drafted.
No.
You just went and signed up.
Right.
Now, why did you do that? Because some people were very like, I won't go until I'm drafted.
Well, I knew I was going to be drafted.
You knew that for sure.
Right.
Okay.
So I went down and enlisted in the Army
Okay.
for 3 years.
Did you get to pick your MOS, your job, or did the Army pick it for you?
No, I was a mechanic, and so I asked to be a wheel vehicle mechanic.
Okay. It's like the big 5-ton trucks and the Jeeps,
The Jeeps,
all that stuff. Okay. So you're in Abington, in the New England area, and they ship you to Vietnam. That had to be a culture shock, sir.
It was. Yeah.
Just with the weather, I have to imagine,
Oh, it's awful.
is awful.
All the heat and humidity, bugs, snakes.
I was told that by another Vietnam veteran, like the snakes were no joke. You had to,
Oh, you had to get away from them.
yeah. Now, which part of Vietnam did you serve in?
Central Highlands,
Okay.
Playco.
You're there and you're seeing all this go around you, and It had to be just like night and day compared to anything you've ever been through before.
Oh yeah, it was.
And then I understood that, we're talking about Purple Heart Day. This is August, kind of Purple Heart Month.
Right.
August 7th is Purple Heart Day, and you're serving and you get wounded not once but twice.
Twice, right.
What was that like? I can't even imagine that.
Scary,
Yeah.
I had a punji stake that went through my boot and into my ankle, and then I had when the mortar arm went off, I got hit in the leg with shrapnel.
Now the punji sticks, the Vietnamese would lay out these sticks with these spikes in it, right?
Yeah.
And as I understand it, rounds would start going off and you'd go to the deck to lay down to start putting fire back, and
Right.
you would land on these things.
Yeah.
And you can't see them until you land on them, so it had to be just, the jungle was a dangerous place.
Oh, it was. It had all kinds of traps. Sometimes you'd be walking along and all of a sudden your foot would get go into, like a hole, and there'd be all those punji stakes.
So they've got a hole with like sticks in the hole.
Yeah. And when you pull your foot up, one of those would go into your ankle.
So every day was like, am I going to get through the day without a scratch, or am I going to get hurt or get killed? I mean, I didn't have that when I was serving. I was very removed from that. And Vietnam era veterans tell me that it was just every day was like that, and it really grew on them over time.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
You did 3 years in Vietnam?
No, 13 months.
13 months.
Yeah.
So you got a mortar round and punji sticks in about less than a year and a half.
Yeah.
I ask every Vietnam era veteran this. You go through all that and you come home. What was coming home like after going through all that?
Well, I came from a good family, so in a big family, so I had a lot of support when I came home.
Yeah.
My mother and father, then I had sisters and brothers, but the one thing that they didn't understand was post-traumatic stress.
So when did the post-traumatic stress start kicking in for you?
Once I got home.
Once you got home?
Yeah.
You get home and you have a good family, you get support there. What got you from being a wheeled mechanic in the Army to wanting to be a police officer?
The first police chief I knew, his name was Ed Murphy,
Okay.
and he was looking for veterans to serve as police officers. So I took the exam, got on the department.
And I'm reading about you, and you were an undercover police officer starting out.
Yes. Yeah.
What's that like? You're with your family. They know you're a police officer, but you're not Richard Franey. You're somebody else.
Yeah.
But you got to do your job. That had to be pretty interesting.
Yeah. I took the last name Manley,
Manly.
so I was Richard Manley.
Okay.
And from there, I went to various places in bars and places like that, and worked undercover getting information on who was selling drugs, where they were selling them, also firearms, and that was about like that.
You serve your country.
Yeah.
and you're serving your community,
Yeah.
and you served until you got to be a police chief.
Right.
Did you ever look at yourself and say, you know what, I want to do something else? Or did you just become a police officer and love being a police officer?
Well, for a while I worked in an auto body shop.
Okay.
You know, spray painting, getting cars ready to be painted. And after that, I just decided I wanted to be a police officer.
You talk about your PTSD, your PTS. What helped you get through that?
Probably my family.
Your family?
Yeah.
It's very important to me because a lot of family, once they want to help, you know, those who served and are going through that.
Yeah.
And sometimes they feel like, you know, what can I do?
Yeah.
So your family was very, very helpful?
Yes, they were.
Yeah.
Very helpful.
You grow up in Abington, you serve our country,
Yeah.
you get wounded during service, and you come back and you serve Abington again. And you grow the rank of police chief, like you're the top law enforcement guy for the town of Abington. And I remember meeting you, and you know, you're telling me how great Abington is at the time. It was at I think at the Frollo Middle School is where I met you.
Yeah.
Right before you retired.
Probably.
What's it like to see other veterans during your 10 years police chief serve Abington the way you did?
I think it's good. I think it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Last month, Gladys, you know, Officer Diaz talks about, you know, serving the Marine Corps and becoming a police officer, and it's your stories are similar. You serve our country, and then found purpose in serving the community.
Yes.
Should other veterans take a look at law enforcement as a way to have a career after service?
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. So Adam tells me that you love photography.
Oh yeah, I did.
Okay. What about photography do you like?
Well, I went to crime scene school. It's a state police. And then I came back and became the department photographer and evidence gatherer.
Okay. So you use cameras with actual film.
Yes.
And so you took the pictures and you had to develop them and then look at the evidence.
Right.
Did you ever use digital cameras at all?
No, I only use the 35 millimeter.
Yeah. Did you take pictures outside of work at all? Did you use photography as a hobby?
Yeah, sewage was going through Abington.
Okay.
And they need the sewer commissioner, a sewer commission, needed to have somebody photograph as they went along. So town council gave me permission to do that. Once I did it, you know, well, I could do it during my regular tour, but when I developed the film, it had to be off duty.
Okay.
So I did that.
So you actually knew how to develop the film and put it in the, is it water or what do they put it in? What's that liquid they put the picture in and then it kind of comes to life? I don't know what that's called.
Oh,
It's like
developer.
Yeah. I always I could never imagine it because I've used digital cameras for so long that you actually, you know, took the film out of the camera and then put it in liquid to actually make the picture.
Yes.
That was something else to me.
Yeah.
You've served our country and our community for so long. What do you enjoy doing now that you're retired? Are you busy retired, or do you play with your grandkids? What's your favorite thing to do, Mr. Franey?
When my grandkids play baseball, I like to go there.
Yeah.
Sometimes they play flag football. I like to go there. And then at times they come over the house, and I enjoy their company.
Nice. Nice. How many grandkids do you have?
3.
3?
Yeah.
Very cool. You like baseball?
Yes, I love it.
Do you follow the Red Sox?
Oh, you bet.
Okay. I'm just curious because it seems like the Red Sox are in this lull. They're not winning a whole lot anymore.
Yeah, that's true, but I think they're making some changes that'll help,
Very nice.
you know.
Very nice. Well, Mr. Franey, I just want to thank you for coming in and talking with me today. It's, again, last month we talked to an officer just starting their career.
Yeah.
And again, like I said, the story is similar. They served in the military, they got out, they did some things, and then they found law enforcement and,
Sure.
and a family of fellow police officers in Abington. And like I said, I remember you as clear as day back in 2002, I think. So it was very nice meeting you that day, and what a pleasure to talk with you now.
Thank you.
Well, again, folks, it's 2 law enforcement officers for the town of Abington in a row at the Abington Veterans Muster. I've appreciated getting to talk with, Police Chief Franey, U.S. Army, and didn't get drafted. It's very important that you understand the difference with that. Some people avoided the draft. They left the country. They did whatever they could to avoid being drafted. Some people let their draft number come up and they went when they were called. But some people didn't wait for the draft number. They went. And it's a very big honor to talk to somebody who just said, you know what, I'm going to go because I'm needed and I'll go now. So again, Mr. Franey, Police Chief, thank you for coming on the Abington Veterans Muster and talking with me.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hey, we will see you next month in September for the Abington Veterans Muster. Thank you for watching. Please share. If you have an email suggestion for me, I'm going to have the email addressed here right below me. And as we say for the Abington Veterans Muster, you are dismissed.